so much for coming out and supporting today. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, local San Gabriel Valley resident, Mr. John Menchaca.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone as well for being here today. My name is John Menchaca. 16 years ago today, or tomorrow or so, my wife and I, Denise, woke up just like any other morning. I was still in the restroom getting dressed, and she had turned on the TV, and she said, "Oh my God, what's happening? One of the towers there in New York is on fire. A plane, looks like a plane accidentally crashed into it." And I kind of came out and said, "Wow, that's pretty amazing." Our hearts go out to everybody there. Hopefully, they can get the fire out and everything will be okay. 15 minutes later, we see on TV another plane going into the other tower. So by that time, everyone was aware that we were under attack. We continued to get ready for work. I worked in downtown LA at the time, as I still do now, and I said, well, let me rush into the office, make sure everything's fine there, and tell everyone to just kind of go home and kind of just see what's going on and see how this materializes, but to get out of the city, because there was also a threat that it might happen in Los Angeles as well. I get to the desk, my desk that morning, and my phone rings, and it's my father calling me from San Antonio, Texas. And he said, "Mijo, you need to call your brother-in-law." I said, "Well, why? What's going on?" He said, "One of the planes went into the Pentagon, American Airlines Flight 77, and your sister Dora was on that plane." I said, "No, it can't be. How do you know?" He said, "We know. We talked to your brother-in-law." Called my brother-in-law, and he said, yes, that was the case. He had gotten a voicemail message that morning from my sister. She said, "Earl, I decided to take an earlier flight because our son Jared, who was 5 years old at the time, desperately wanted me home because we were going to plant purple flowers as soon as I got home." She basically hung up the phone, and without even thinking that was the last time he was going to hear her voice, he deleted the message. So we got to his house in Santa Monica, and of course everybody was just in desperate straits, just kind of thinking, how could this have happened? In her efforts to try to make it home to her family, it ended in just a disaster with her being on that plane. So every year around this time, we get together and we mourn and we cry, but we still cherish the memories of her. We talk about her. Every time we have a family gathering, we talk about her. Her name was Dora Marie Menchaca. We were both born in San Antonio, Texas, to a family of 6 kids, and very much in a neighborhood similar to the neighborhood here in East Los Angeles. She graduated from high school and went on to attend the University of Notre Dame, got her degree there in biology, went on to the University of North Carolina and got a master's degree in public administration. From then on, she moved to Los Angeles and was able to achieve a PhD in public health, specializing in epidemiology, the study of diseases and the spread of diseases. She happened to be working as a scientist for Amgen Corporation. And during the time that she was there, we had found out that my father was suffering from prostate cancer. So one of the drugs that she was experimenting with and trying to develop was a cure for prostate cancer. And the reason she had flown to Washington, D.C. was because she was going to present a drug that was going to help with the cure, the treatment of prostate cancer to the Federal Drug Commissioner there in Washington, D.C. Well, through a series of unfortunate events, her meeting got canceled, and that was one of the other reasons she wanted to get back early, because the meeting had been canceled. So while we're there, we're trying to keep the kids, Jared, 5, her other daughter, Imani, that was about 18 at the time, kind of informed, but at the same time, well, with respect to the younger one, kind of trying not to make him aware of what was going on. But if anyone remembers, at the time, all the planes had been grounded. There was no airplanes flying at all because of the threat of another possible attack. So her daughter was up in Portland, University of Portland in Oregon, and had no way to make it back to Los Angeles to help mourn, to assist with the mourning and caring of her dad and mourning of her mom. So again, people stepped up, they loaded up 2 cars, and were able to make the drive back down with her. And another interesting point of this whole, and I'll wrap up my remarks shortly, but another interesting point of this whole ordeal was that a couple years later, my brother-in-law gets in the package from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and they had found some of her belongings. They found her driver's license, they found her credit cards. They had, I guess a lot of the passengers had gotten together and put everything in the microwaves there in the galley of the airplane, because they felt that if they were going to survive, in the microwaves they might be the safest. So she left a note. In her time of despair, because at that point they probably knew they were all going to perish, and she basically said, "Dear Earl, I love you. Please take care of Imani and Jared. All my love, Dora." Thank you very much for everybody being here, and appreciate all your thoughts and everybody's warm welcome. Thank you.